D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to my weekend review, where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Now, also down below, you can find the articles that I read to bring you this video, and you can go and check them out yourself and read them for yourself, or you can just watch this video where I'm pretty much going to read it to you. Also, before we get started, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just keep getting shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. All right, now that we got that out of the way, why don't we go ahead and get started? And my 3 stories all have to do with DC this week, but let's get started on this first story. So for my first story this week, Azie Tesfai, I don't know how to say her name. She is looking to start a crime drama called The Chase over at NBC, and this is her. Now you may remember her. She's from Supergirl. She played the second Guardian. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. But here she is. I'm going to have to redo this one. Okay. So that's her right there. We're going to do this article. Hold on, I'm sorry. So it says NBC is developing The Chase, a crime drama from Supergirl alumni as Azie Tesfai. I don't know how to say, and Universal Television. I don't know how to say her name. I'm not good with names anyways. If you watch my channel, I am like bad at them. It's ridiculous. Even if your name was Bob, I'd get it wrong. Anyways, okay, so it says, written and executive produced by Tesfai, is in The Chase when undercover CIA agent Robert falls for his target, Catherine. Everything changes. Their Bonnie and Clyde escape goes sideways when they're captured by the American government and forced to use their opposing assets and skill set to find some of the most wanted criminals in the world, all while learning the other isn't who they thought. So it says Universal Television, a division of Universal Studios Group, is the studio. Tesfai starred and wrote on the CW's Supergirl as ex-military psychologist Kelly Olsen and DC comic superhero The Guardian. She was also the first Ethiopian person to ever portray a superhero on screen, and made Arrowverse history as the first actor in a Greg Berlanti produced series to also pen an episode on any of his shows. She previously played homicide detective Nadine Hansen in CW's Jane the Virgin. Additional TV credits include A Million Little Things, The Kominsky Method, NCIS Los Angeles, and Ghosted, among others. The Chase marks Tesfai's first broadcast script sale, and she's repped by some fun people. Okay, so I just want to say real quick, first off, did we need another crime drama, you guys? I mean, was this something that was really, like, needed? Like, I mean, I wasn't calling for it. Were you calling for it? Were you calling for it? No one was calling for this. And the fact that she wrote on Supergirl is probably just a big indicator that this is probably not going to be that great. But, you know, like, good for her. You know, I do wish nothing but the best for people, but I just don't have faith in this project just because, again, we don't need another crime drama. This doesn't sound like anything brand spanking new. You know, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be, you know, paint by the numbers from every other drama, just add in a little bit of you know, identity politics in there, and you know, bada boom, bada bing, she's got her money, and they've got probably a not so great show. So we'll see how it turns out. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I probably won't watch it just because I've had enough of these crime dramas. But if I do watch it and it's good, I will totally admit I'm wrong and tell you that it's good. And I'll follow up on it if I do watch an episode. But I'm not looking out for this, and I just don't care enough, you know. I just feel like this is not that big a deal. Like, I mean, it is for her, Miss Tesfai. I don't know how to say her name. Anyways, but good for her. Again, I wish nothing but the best for people, but I just, again, I don't think that this is something that was needed, and nobody was clamoring for another crime drama. So that is my first story of the week. So for my second story of the week, okay, so Marvel is hiring, and I have two articles for this video. And I'm going to read through this first one, and then the second one, we're going to go over a couple of things with that one. But so Marvel is hiring some Arrowverse writers for their Daredevil Born Again show. And I have some issues with this, and they're from Supergirl, and they've written for Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow, and I have thoughts on this, and I just let me get into it, but this is not going to be good. Okay, you guys, if you thought Daredevil Born Again was going to be good, it's not. It's not going to be good. It is going to be terrible. But let's get into this. Okay, so it says, although the Arrowverse is ending, this doesn't mean the end of the road for its writers, as some have jumped ship to one of the Marvel Studios Disney Plus shows. The Arrowverse has had a long run in the CW, with DC's small screen universe introducing shows such as The Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow. After a 9-year stint and plenty of crossovers, the universe will end with The Flash Season 9. Meanwhile, Marvel Studios is still hitting the ground running, as it is set to release many projects on the small screen, one of them being Daredevil Born Again. Now, 2 Arrowverse writers have found a new Marvel home. There's more than 2. We'll get into that in just a second, but I found this article first, so this was the one that I used for this story. But then the other one goes into some other writers. One writer that I want to talk about, but we'll talk about another one, and you'll get a full list of all the writers that are going on to it. It's a big hot mess. This show's going to be terrible. I just want to say that. Although I'll give me 2 seconds, I'll mention something else. I have a lot to mention, you guys. I've got a lot to mention. So as per the Comic Circus, Marvel Studios added Jill Blankenship, watch out for her, and Granny, I don't know how to say, Godfrey, to Daredevil Born Again's writer team. The pair both served as writers for the Arrowverse shows. Blankenship was the showrunner and co-creator of Naomi, which is totally crazy. The other article I'll bring up says it's a red flag. It is a red flag. Naomi, I don't know if you watch Naomi. I only made it through 4 episodes. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's a god-awful show. The comic book didn't do well, so they made it into a show. The show didn't do well. The show was terrible. And if you liked it, I'm sorry, you have no taste, but it was terrible. And I just don't understand how these people keep failing upwards. I really don't get it. It's beyond me. But we'll talk about that in just a second. Let me finish this article. Okay, as I was saying, a recently canceled Arrowverse series from the CW. She also wrote 6 Arrow episodes, including Season 8, Episode 9, which was the backdoor pilot for the scrapped Green Arrow and Canary spinoff series, which if you watch that episode, it's not a good episode. It's a terrible episode. I'm all like, again, I don't understand why Hollywood is letting these, why is Marvel hiring these people? I'm sorry, I'm getting into it before I finish this article, but why are they hiring these people and not going back and looking at their work and being like, ooh, this was not good. Maybe we shouldn't hire this person. I just don't understand. And if this woman and Naomi is any representation of what Daredevil Born Again is going to be, I mean, and Born Again is so good. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not going to be good. It's not going to be good. I'm sorry. It's DOA in my opinion. Anyways, okay. Aside from Blankenship's Arrowverse resume, the veteran writer was also the consulting producer for Netflix Sweet Tooth. Now, that show was good, but it had already had a comic book out there for it. And the comic book, I didn't read the comic book, but from what I understand, it was a pretty good adaptation. And it just says she was a consulting producer. So she had some thoughts on visuals, and maybe she rewrote a scene or whatever. I don't know, but let's see. Okay. So Godfrey wrote for Arrow, The Flash, and 20 episodes of DC Legends of Tomorrow, which probably the back half and totally terrible. That show turned out to be a big hot mess. It went way woke and it was bad. It just was so bad at the end. Ugh, it was crazy. Aside from being a writer in Legends, she also served as its executive producer. Godfrey will also reportedly write and executive produce Jennifer Lynn Barnes' The Inheritance games, which I don't know what that's all about. I have not seen anything about that. So I don't know anything about that, but it's probably going to be terrible also. Daredevil Born Again is set to begin filming next month and will take place throughout the rest of the year. Why adding Arrowverse writers benefits MCU Daredevil reboot? Now let's go through this because this is ridiculous. This comment, it will not benefit, but let's just read through it because they make some pretty dumb points. Okay, so it says, why let's see, the addition of Jill Blankenship and Granny Godfrey to Born Again's writing team is expected to benefit the upcoming Disney Plus series due to the pair's experience writing superhero shows set in a shared universe. False. Moreover, the Arrowverse was filled with exciting crossovers, with the pair also having some experience in that area. Okay, so it's just they've written episodes before with crossovers. So this is a good sign, considering that that lead star Charlie Cox already teased that some potential Marvel characters could make cameos in Daredevil Born Again. I mean, they could, but that doesn't mean they will. The Daredevil writer gig also offers a fresh start for the pair, especially now that the Arrowverse is ending. This opportunity acts as Godfrey's own redemption in the writing realm, mainly because Legends of Tomorrow was unceremoniously canceled last year. I mean, I don't think that this is going to be a redemption, because it's probably just going to be written terribly again. Like I'm sorry, bad writers, unless they get like told no and told that they're bad writers, then they're not going to fix their stuff. I'm sorry, but I think this is going to be bad because these writers were bad writers before, they're bad writers now, and nothing in the subsequent future is going to change that. And they're just going to ruin this Daredevil show. They're just going to ruin it for Disney. So Disney has made their bed, and they have not learned anything from Phase 4. And they're just gonna lay in it. And I'm sorry, I am not down with this sickness. I'll tell you right now. All right, let's go over to this other article. This is from Bounding Into Comics. And let me just hold on. Let me go up to the title of this so that way you can check it out. I'll leave the link in the description, but it says, rumored writers for upcoming Daredevil Born Again series raise multiple red flags. Yes, they do. And this is written by John F. Trent. Okay. So going down, all right, here's where I wanted. So it adds, hold on. We got to go back up, because here are the writers for the show, which I want to say real quick. They did put out a thing saying that they've hired a lot of lawyery writer shows for the lawyery parts, which I like that, because I wish they would have done that more with She-Hulk, because She-Hulk could have been a really good show if it would have been more like Ally McBeal. Now, I know a lot of people want to be like, well, I don't remember Ally McBeal being really good. I don't remember anybody complaining about Ally McBeal like they do about She-Hulk. So, I mean, there's that. And if you didn't watch Ally McBeal, of course you don't remember Ally McBeal. And a lot of young people don't, because they weren't born then and they're not going out looking for it. But I remember Ally McBeal. I remember nothing but good things about it. So, I mean, that has to say something. All right, now let me say, it says, now a rumored list of writers for the show comes courtesy of Cosmic Circus, which I should have pulled that article, but I didn't, so, whatever, and claims David Feige, or Phage, whatever, I don't know, Thomas Wong, Jill Blankenship, which this article talks about her, we'll talk about her, Zachary Redtier, Granny Godfrey, Devin Klinger, and Asha Porter Christie. Oh my gosh, these people, they have with the 3 names, what is that, are all part of the show's writers room, which is being helmed by showrunners Chris Ord and Matt Corman. You might not be familiar with a lot of these names, but the list contains some massive red flags, which one of them they'll talk about David Feige. I'm going to call him Feige because I don't know if they're related. And then it also talks about the Jill Blankenship, which like I mentioned before, Naomi is a huge red flag. When somebody says, "Oh, I worked on Naomi," I go, you fired. Okay. I just go, I can't have you on my show. You're just bad. All right, so let's see. It says maybe the biggest red flag is Jill Blankenship. I agree 100%. Again, it just goes back to Naomi. Naomi was so bad, you guys, so bad. The writing was terrible on that show. And I just go, okay. So who was most recently the showrunner and executive producer on the CW's Naomi? Her role as a writer on Daredevil Born Again also appears to be confirmed, as it's listed on her profile on the Writers Guild of America's West's website. Another red flag is Thomas Wong, whose writing expertise on the Writers Guild of America West's website includes race and ethnic issues and sexuality and / gender. I'll bet it also includes legal system and courtroom procedures. So if it's about the, like, listen. Oh, like my mother always, listen. That's what my mother always says before she starts something, when she wants to give me the business. Having, for instance, race and ethnic issues or sexuality and gender issues in this show will not be a problem as long as it doesn't get too woke. And I know you don't like that term if you're watching this and you're getting angry, but if you're going to go the route of She-Hulk and make this into a She-Hulk type show with your legal stuff, and really it's not legal stuff, then it's just going to be bad. It's just going to be bad, and you're going to take another great character and you're going to turn it into crap, okay? If Mr. Wong is just focusing on the legal issues and the system of the courtroom and stuff like that and make it into a good show, then I'm all for it. Because that's what this show needs. That's what She-Hulk needed. I think She-Hulk suffered from that. I think I was looking for She-Hulk to be like, you know how when you watch Law and Order and they have the part where the detectives go out and they find all the clues and everything, and then the courtroom scenes towards the end. I thought it would be more like those courtroom scenes. I thought that it would be a little bit more mature in that sense, but it wasn't. But whatever. Okay. So David Feige also appears to be a red flag. A brief look at his Twitter profile reveals he's a political partisan. As an example, just 2 years ago, he was blaming Republicans and Donald Trump for COVID deaths. Now, listen, I don't want to get in, I don't get into politics. But I think that when it comes to a writer's room, when you are a political activist, that's a problem. That tells me that you're not interested in entertaining. You're just interested in getting out your message. You're getting out your political talking points. And I'm not here for that. I don't want to hear your political talking points. I don't care. Keep that stuff out in your personal life. I don't bring my politics to my work. Because I don't think people care. Yeah, I know you're gonna be like, oh, you're a Trump supporter. I'm not a Trump supporter. I just want to say that because I know people get on to me about that stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So let's. I don't think we need to get into this tweet that he did. But we'll just. I'm not. Yeah, I don't want to get into the tweet because it's just he's obviously an activist, which I'm hugely against. So he has also claimed that the United States of America had turned into a kleptocracy when Donald Trump was president. He wrote on Twitter, "This may be the most grotesque headline I've ever read. Politicians jockeying for tests, finding proximity to Trump is the fastest route because we officially live in a kleptocracy." Okay. So it's very obvious that he's an angry individual. All right, let me just read this. Okay. There might be one bright spot in the writer's room, and that's Granny Godfrey. Okay, I take it back. But although, listen, I just want to say right now, I disagree that, because I forgot about this, but I disagree with there is a bright spot. I disagree, but it's fine. She has cast credits for the first 3 seasons of the CW The Flash, which I will admit, The Flash, the first 3 seasons are probably the best seasons, especially the first one, and the second one's pretty good. And the third one, that's when it starts to go off the rails. before the show went downhill. So they mentioned that too. However, when she then moved on to the CW's Legends or DC's Legends of Tomorrow and set about injecting identity politics into the show, which again was also its downfall. At one point, she described Esperanza Spooner Cruz's character as young Latinx woman from Texas who was kidnapped by aliens and has a thirst for vengeance. She's not going to be the lovable losers that we naturally have, that we normally have. She's going to be pretty tough and gives it to the other legends, and they're going to have to react to her. And I think it's going to throw them off their feet a little bit. And when I hear stuff like that, I just go, what? What's going on here? By the way, that season was terrible. Godfrey also claimed in 2016, the time to despair is over. Now is the time for resistance. We must fight the bigotry and sexism of Trump's campaign. See, so this is the thing. I just go, I'm not going to read the rest of this stuff for this article, just because I just go, it's not going to be good, you guys. Daredevil Born Again is going to be terrible. It's just going to be terrible. And I think that when you have writers that are constantly, virtue signaling, and they're putting in their identity politics and they're putting their politics into these shows, I think that it just ends up being a bad show. Like, you want to put politics into a show, fine, put it in there subtly. It's fine. That I say go ahead. But when you just blatantly throw it in your face, you're just like, eat my politics, eat my politics. And you're not like, I'm on a diet, I'm not hungry right now. Maybe just a nosh of your politics. But these people don't know, they don't know anything about subtlety. I'm sorry, I went on a little bit of a rant there. This show's just going to be bad. I'm telling you right now, Daredevil Born Again is going to be terrible. It's just going to be terrible. So get ready for that. And if you're a huge Daredevil fan and you're a fan of Daredevil Born Again, the comic, you're going to be very disappointed. And if you're a Daredevil fan and you're happy with it, then you're a Daredevil fan. All right, I'm done with my rant here. That was my second story of the week. So for my third and final story of the week, well, you guys, it's come to pass, you guys. And I mean, we have to be honest with ourselves. We knew the writing was on the wall. Okay, we knew it was on the wall. And I personally am not surprised, but it is a bummer because and that is that Titans and Doom Patrol is getting canceled after their season 4. They're both on season 4 right now. So after this season, it's gone. They're both gone. And again, I don't want to say I'm sad. I'm more sad for Doom Patrol than I am for Titans, but I'm not sad in the sense that I could see the writing on the wall. These shows, I don't know anybody that watches these shows except for myself. And that's the problem. So let me read through this article a little bit and then we'll talk about it. So this comes from Deadline, my favorite. I love Deadline. All right, so it says, 2 of the DC series on HBO Max, Titans and Doom Patrol, will be coming to an end. Both recently wrapped their 6-episode season 4 runs on the streamer, and the upcoming second halves of their 4th seasons will be the show's final chapters. Both had been crafted to give the series a proper ending. We'll talk about that in just a second. Titans and Doom Patrol, both from Berlanti Productions and Warner Brothers Television, are the last live-action series from the slate of the now defunct DC Universe. If you guys remember, I had a subscription to DC Universe, but I remember when that first started, these shows were made for DC Universe to kind of bring people over, like new content for that. I just feel like I was in a large group of one. I don't know. Again, I don't know anybody else that watched these shows, and I don't know anybody else that had a DC Universe subscription. Like, I was all like, I'm sitting here paying $10 a month, or was it 10? I don't remember. It was so long ago, but I'm sitting here paying $10 a month and I'm the only one. So like they got my $10 a month and that's it. Yeah. They made the transition to HBO Max after the first 2 seasons when the DC Universe folded. Titans and Doom Patrol then ran for 2 more seasons, with the creatives behind both mapping those seasons to complete their story arcs. I do want to talk about these shows in just a second. Both Titans and Doom Patrol have been well received by critics. Have they, though? With high marks on Rotten Tomatoes, and have done well on the platform, according to the scarce HBO Max performance data available. I don't believe any of the data from HBO Max. I think they just fluff that stuff up, but they could be telling the truth. I don't know. They get my view, I'll tell you that. They, along with other DC shows that are coming to an end, include The Flash and Stargirl on the CW, close a chapter in Berlanti Prod's tenure at Warner Brothers Television Group, which was just extended with a massive new deal. Warner Brothers Discovery's DC strategy has been undergoing an examination following the recent appointment of new toppers James Gunn and Peter Safran. Stargirl was canceled. They finished out their third season. Very good. I love Stargirl. The Flash is finishing up at season 9. That went off the rails, after season 3. Season 4 was like, okay, but not that great. And then season 5 through on was just terrible. While these will be the final seasons of Titans and Doom Patrol, we are very proud of these series and excited for fans to see their climactic endings. An HBO Max spokesperson said, "We are grateful to Berlanti Productions and Warner Brothers Television for making such thrilling action-packed, heartfelt series. We thank Titans showrunner Greg Walker, executive producers Greg Berlanti, da-da-da-da-da. For Doom Patrol, we celebrate showrunner Jeremy Carver and executive producers, yada, 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 yada. For 4 seasons, fans have fallen in love with the Titans and the Doom Patrol, investing in their trials and tribulations and their legendary battles, saving the world time and time again. Titans developed by Goldsman. I'm not going to go through all of this. Hold on. So it's in season 4, having saved Gotham, the Titans hit the road to head back to San Francisco, but after a stop in Metropolis, they find themselves in the crosshairs of the supernatural cult with powers unlike anything they faced before. Doom Patrol, which was part of a newly minted Oscar-nominated Brendan Fraser's return to Hollywood, reimagine some of DC's most recognized superheroes. Are they? They're not. No, they're not. Stop it. Stop it. Doom Patrol is very niche. I'm sorry. The series was developed by Carver based on characters created by DC by Arnold Drake, Bob, whatever. Okay. Season 4 opened with the team unexpectedly traveling to the future to find an unwelcome surprise. Faced with their imminent demise, the Doom Patrol must decide once and for all which is more important, their own happiness or the fate of the world. So they have said that they are ending the show with they are ending the show after season 4, but they have filmed endings that will cut off the show. It's not going to be a cliffhanger. It's just going to end the show, and then that's, boom, boom, they're done, and they're done. They're good and done. I think this is good. Titans has really gotten really bad, in my opinion. I don't think that it's very good anymore. For me personally, they always start the season off pretty strong. Like season 3 started off really strong. Like I thought it was going to be a good season, and it just was terrible. It was terrible. And season 4 for me hasn't been that great. It's gotten very CW, very not good at all. Doom Patrol has gotten a little too weird, in my opinion. Especially season 3 with the Sisterhood of Dada. I thought that was a big nothing burger. And then season 4, I mean, it's pretty good. It's just, again, it's so weird and so niche that it's like nobody's watching these shows. Like that's the thing. Nobody's watching them. And if they are not showing up, because I can tell you right now, I don't know. Again, I don't know anybody else that watches it besides me. So listen, if you can watch the shows, because they are not long for this world after these seasons wrap up, and they only have, I think, 6 episodes each, 6 or 7. So we'll see how they end and if they end well. All right, you guys, that is my final story of the week. Tell me, what do you guys think about all of this? How do you feel about Azie Tesfai getting a crime drama on NBC called The Chase? Do you think this is something that sounds good, or is this something you're not interested in like me? Like, are we, like I said before, do we really need another crime drama? Is this something we need in our lives more of? I don't think so. It's just going to be the same storylines, just recycled again and again. So it's like, whatever. Good for her. I wish her nothing but the best, but I don't think it's going to be that good. Also, tell me, how do you feel about all these writers joining the Daredevil Born Again show? I mean, it's going to be bad. You remember that scene from Supergirl in the last season with what's her face, and she's all like that one scene where she's like, no touching without consent.
No touching without consent.
Yeah, that scene was just terrible. It was like, if that's the writing that we can expect for Daredevil Born Again, get ready for cringe and just terrible writing. It's just going to be bad. And I'm not going to hold out hope. It's DOA already. And then finally, tell me, how do you guys feel about Titans and Doom Patrol getting canceled? Is this something that saddens you? Is this something that you don't care about? Did you see the writing on the walls? You know, I mean, we all saw the writing on the walls. Am I right? Like, we knew it wasn't long for this world after they announced season 4. I mean, I was just like, come on, there's no way this is coming back for a season 5. Maybe they'll do like a TV movie later on. That'd be fun. I'd watch that. But I just don't see this. I just saw this coming, and I wasn't surprised when I read the news and everything. But tell me what you guys think, and tell me who's your favorite Doom Patrol character and who's your favorite Titans character. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. Tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on my week in review. You guys have a good week. Bye.
Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my week in review.